Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode. I just want to say, episode 4. My name's Ben Cornett, and you can check out my social media handles. They're up above me. So let's get right to it. I just want to say, finally, the Aaron Rodgers trade happens. Thank goodness, because, man, to me, I knew it was going to happen. Of course it would. It was just when, but I think the sooner the better, because I feel like, if you're both teams, you want to know where you're headed draft wise, how many picks you're going to get out of this. So, obviously the Jets got their quarterback. Um, they feel like this is the time. The time is now. And for Green Bay, they got a Super Bowl out of Aaron Rodgers. They had I believe, what was it, like 13, 14 seasons with him. It's not much you can ask, anymore for Green Bay. This was a very, very successful franchise. Although the last few years you can argue wasn't the best, but you know, still they got a future Hall of Famer out of it, a Super Bowl, like I said, and now you turn the page. It's a brand new era in Green Bay. It's supposedly the Jordan Love era. If I'm being honest, I don't know if he's going to be the answer, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And for, like I said, for the Jets, um, you know, now's the time. They want their quarterback. They got it. They feel like they're this close, to being a championship team, and they feel like Aaron Rodgers will get them over the top. But we got to keep in mind the Jets didn't even make the playoffs though last year. So how close are they? I mean, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is gonna really make your team better. Just with his presence, with his quarterback play, the guy can still play the position. But for the Jets, I don't know if they're closer to a championship. They're closer, but they're not a team that can win a championship. I don't think, especially in the AFC, where even in their own division, they got Buffalo and Miami, and then forget Kansas City and Cincinnati and Jacksonville. I mean, you got really 5 teams to compete with. And depending on what Baltimore does, do they keep Lamar Jackson? Do they go a different direction? We don't know, but I feel like, you know, yeah, Aaron Rodgers makes you better, but Aaron Rodgers may be better off in the where he's at now, where he was in Green Bay, because you look at the NFC, other than Philly and San Francisco, I mean, who else can you really say is a Super Bowl contender? So I don't know, but I think for Green Bay, they feel like the time is now to rebuild, and for the Jets, it's time for them to, or in their minds, think that, hey, we can finally win a championship. We got our quarterback. But then let's remember the Jets haven't won a Super Bowl since the '60s. So I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I would say who won this trade. Well, it's hard to say because we haven't really seen it play out. But if I had to pick one right now, maybe the Jets, just because they got their quarterback, and Jordan Love's still kind of an unproven commodity at this point. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I just want to say, Maple Leafs are finally going to advance past the first round since 2004. Yeah, I mean, you know, I gotta say the Maple Leafs are up 3-1. They came back again in overtime last night to beat Tampa Bay 5-4. Tampa was leading 4-1 going into the third period, and then just collapsed. And you got to wonder, are Lightning players wearing Maple Leafs uniforms? And are Maple Leafs playing wearing Lightning uniforms? Because they got the same color blue. I don't know. I mean, look, I think in all seriousness, Tampa, they've played a lot of games these last few years. Keep in mind, they've won 2 Stanley Cups. They went to a third. They've been to 3 straight Stanley Cup finals. That's a lot of games, to be playing. And this is a team with, with Vasi as their goalie, Stamkos, Corey Price. These are older guys that have a lot of mileage on them. And, that can wear on you in the postseason. Now, keep in mind, though, that still I don't see that as an excuse because they did blow 2 leads. They should be up 3-1. Now, for Toronto, I mean, I said like a few episodes ago they would blow it again, and they still might. Let's remember, they're up 3-1, but a few years ago they were up 3-1 on Montreal, I believe, and they still blew the series. I think that was the year where they're in the bubble. But the pressure's still on Toronto because they have to close it out. If they don't do it this time, I'm telling you right now, if they don't do it Thursday or whenever their next game is, they might be in trouble because Tampa still has the experience to pull off, 3 games in a row, win 3 games in a row. So this isn't over yet. I really believe if Toronto's going to win this series, they have to do it their next game, or else the doubts will once again start creeping in on the Maple Leafs. And we could have another series where the Maple Leafs blow it. So we'll see what happens. I just want to say the new WWE World title it was last night. Triple H made the announcement on Raw. There's going to be a new WWE World Championship. My thoughts on that. Let's see. As far as the look goes, it sort of reminds me of the big gold belt that WCW had, and then kind of slapping the WWE logo on it. I understand that. It's marketing. You got to do that. Interesting look. But that's not really why I don't like the title. This, to me, I think feels sort of secondary. I'm sorry to say it, but it does. Roman Reigns is still going to be the undisputed champion. Now, this title will be on one brand, and then Roman will have the other world title or undisputed universal championship, whatever you want to say. But I feel like this belt's kind of a downgrade, not because of the title, but just because of the logic of it is, if we can't beat Roman Reigns, we got to, if none of our guys can beat Roman Reigns or get over to beat Roman Reigns, then we got to make a secondary title. And that's kind of how I feel. It's more of a upgraded Intercontinental or US title to me, in my opinion. And I don't know. It depends who wins this title. If it's Cody that wins it, then I think it really brings him down a notch because it says, I couldn't beat Roman, so they got to make a title for me to win. I think you got to put it on somebody that, is hot, but, that's not Cody either. Maybe like a Seth Rollins, I don't know. Whoever's over, and, what depends on who, where they fall in the draft, where any superstar falls in the draft. Because remember, Roman's going to be on one show, and then this world title is going to be on the other show. So I believe the finals of this, I don't know if, is it the finals of a tournament, or is this championship will be decided at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia at the end of May? Who knows? But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And give me your thoughts on it, wrestling fans, on the belt. And I just want to say, final thoughts. Yeah, so the Lakers are up 3-1. I had them in 6 over Memphis, and I still think the Grizzlies will win a game in this series. They'll get another game, next game on Wednesday, but I think the Lakers close it out on Game 6, in my opinion. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today here on I Just Want to Say, and I will see you later.